What's up, everybody? I'm Najee Simmons, and this is the No Job Podcast, where we believe that everybody has to earn a living, but nobody has to have a job. A job is where you go to trade your time for money. And we just think that's the poor man's way of life. Work is completely different. Work is using your precious time and energy in alignment with your passion to build something that is important to you, to contribute to a cause that is important in your mind and in your heart. And yes, we do expect to get paid for our work because we add value to other people through it. It just makes sense. It's 100% reasonable. So we have no problem going to work every day. But we have a major issue with the idea of a job being anything more than a pit stop on the road to building that important business or career that you are passionate about. The only exception is if your job is to do something that you would be happy to do for free anyway, in the way that you would want to do it. Yeah, we want to earn money by doing what aligns with our purpose and our gifts, helping people in our own unique way by doing the things we were born to do. And this is our season finale. After this episode, I'm going to be taking a short break, but don't get it twisted. I will still be working on the brand and the podcast and the community during that time. Follow our Instagram and Twitter accounts at the No Job Podcast for dope content and for important announcements about some new things we've got coming up and that we're working on for you. We're going to build our presence on LinkedIn in this time and Facebook as well, and develop some new content ideas. That's all on the horizon for you. You're going to see it. But today I want to do something special. Because you guys know by now, I like to take common perceptions and turn them on their heads. I like to flip them. And I don't just like to do that because I think it makes me sound clever or because it's fun. I do it because it's 100% necessary. Here's why. Because common perspectives lead to common outcomes. Clearly, the common perspective doesn't cause people to live out their dreams or to live on purpose, right? If that were the case, then nobody would have a job. Nobody would be trading their life energy for green pieces of paper, which they then trade for food and shelter to live long enough to trade whatever life energy they have left for more green paper, for more food, and the cycle never ends. There would be no need for this podcast if common perception, common thinking could get you out of that cycle. But that's just not the world we live in. That's okay, because I'm here for you to help you see things differently. To help you see things differently. Today, I'm going to show you what you're not afraid of. I'm Najee Simmons, and this is the No Job Podcast. Listen, I want to thank you listeners for your phenomenal support, and I'm going to be shouting out No Job Podcast supporters throughout this episode and going forward. Right now, I want to take a minute to show love to two big supporters of the show, Instagram followers as well. DY2K14, DEEWHY 2K14 out of New York City, and AJ Pendit, AJPENNEDIT, a songwriter from Westchester County. They both have dope pages on IG that you should follow. And like many of you, they always show love on social media. They give me great feedback. DY2K14, AJ Pendit, shout outs to you. And now, while we're all here together, I want to dispel a myth that people have believed and has kept them from taking steps toward not having a job. This false belief has kept people from even trying to find a way to make a living doing what they love. People truly seem to believe that they fear rejection. Do you think you fear rejection? You don't. You think the reason you haven't made real efforts at accomplishing the things you want to or presenting yourself to this world and serving the people in it the way you were born to is because you're afraid of rejection, right? What if they don't accept me as a businessman or a businesswoman or an actor? What if I don't make the team as an athlete? What if I don't get into the school I'm aiming for? I might as well not apply. In a situation like that, it's easy to think, and it almost makes sense to think, the fear of rejection got to you, right? It overcame you. You wanted to apply for the school. You were scared you wouldn't make it, so you didn't apply. But that's not what happened. You didn't cave to the fear of rejection. That interpretation of the situation is dead wrong. Listen, I used to think I was afraid of rejection too. I really did. I used to think that. But after looking at my life story and really thinking about it, I realized that was not true. And let me tell you exactly what I mean. Let me tell you about my 7th grade crush whose name was not Susie, but I'm going to call her Susie to protect everyone's identity. I liked Susie back in the 7th grade, right? But I did not know if she liked me. That's a situation you can all relate to, right? But one day something happens to me that doesn't happen to everybody in that situation. One fateful day, I found in my desk a note from Susie saying that she liked me. Unprompted, right? Unprovoked. I literally couldn't believe it. Then I saw the bottom of the note and I saw that she'd asked me if I liked her too, looking for a response, check this box, something of that nature. And inexplicably, strangely, stupidly, shamefully, I locked up. I held onto that note for days without answering it until it got to the point where we both acted like the letter never happened, until the opportunity expired. So before that note, I could have gotten away with saying that I didn't know whether she liked me and I was afraid of rejection, so that's why I never tried to talk to her about it, right? But after I had a note in my hand, signed by her, stating in plain language that she liked me, I still did nothing. I could not have been afraid of rejection at that point because I had proof of acceptance. I had an invitation. I really did like her. I did. I really did want her to be my girlfriend. The fact that it makes no sense for a 12-year-old to be in a relationship notwithstanding, that's what I wanted. I wanted to ask her out. Then how can I possibly explain not taking advantage of the opportunity we all act like we wish we had? The pattern of our lives proves that we're not afraid of rejection. I think we're addicted to it. Let that sink in. Every time you don't do what you're inspired to do, every time you deny your good desires and your worthy objectives, you reject yourself. We self-reject. And we do it a lot. Tell me the truth. You self-reject more of your great business ideas, screenplays, songs, relationship opportunities than anyone else in the world ever has. You don't even give them a shot, no matter how much sense they make. You dismiss your ideas. You dismiss the aspirations that God gave you. You self-reject more than you have ever been rejected by anyone else. My story proves it. It doesn't matter what assurance of success you're given, no matter how many people give you a vote of confidence or tell you have the gifting or the talent. If you have made a habit of self-rejection, you will not take advantage of this opportunity called your life. So quit telling yourself that you would start on your journey if you were more sure of your future success, whatever you think that means. That's a lie and an excuse. I don't buy it, please. I don't buy it, and neither do you. You don't. Because the reason you haven't started trying, the reason you haven't begun building isn't because you don't know if you will succeed. It's because you self-rejected. There is no way that you have a fear of rejection because you do it to yourself so doggone much. The idea that you're afraid of rejection simply doesn't make sense. It's more like you're addicted to it. And people do a lot of things that don't make sense, right? They do. But I'm never okay to just leave it at that. I'm the type of person that just has to know why. Why do people self-reject? I'm a curious guy. Since we have no problem rejecting ourselves, since we do it habitually, we know we don't fear it, then what is it we actually fear? I thought about this. I tried to make sense of this, because we have to flip this concept on its head. We have to think correctly. We have to understand why we're not doing what we're supposed to do if we ever want to get ourselves right. We have to correct the bad thought patterns, the bad flight patterns that have us running around in circles, dreaming and hoping for more, but never doing anything about it. I think when the idea is good and the opportunity is good, but we still somehow feel strong resistance to doing what we're born to do, and we somehow feel bad, it's for one reason. We're not afraid of rejection because, remember, we reject ourselves and our own ideas all the time. We're afraid that we are unworthy of the success and the reward that will arise from making our dreams a reality. Some of you don't even think you enjoy to deserve your life. You feel like you're in hell at your 9 to 5, and you feel like you deserve it. Right? That's why you haven't tried to get out, because why would I deserve not to be in hell? Who am I to be in a relationship with Susie? She's the most liked girl in school. Why would she like me? This can't be right. This can't be real. I'm not good enough for the opportunity. I'm going to self-reject. That's what I'll do. You have self-rejected so consistently for so long that you ended up at your stupid job, trading your time for money, not realizing that you'll never have enough money to buy back your time to live and work on purpose and in purpose, to truly be rich. Nobody can pay you enough money to make you rich. Who am I to go into business for myself? Nobody in my family ever did that. How could that possibly be a path for me? I don't know how to run a business. I mean, I know nobody's born knowing how to run a business, but I'm not even going to give myself a chance to learn. I wasn't the smartest kid in my class, so you know what? Might be a great business idea, but rather than finding out what the first step would be, I'm just going to self-reject because I just don't think I deserve that. Me? Write songs? I mean, people always say I can sing, but I can't make a career out of it, can I? Is this you telling yourself, oh, there's no way that many people would want to hear me sing? But I guess I'll never find out what the market thinks about my songs because I'll never even write them. And if I do write them, no way I'll show them to the public. I'm going to self-reject. No way I could ever leave my job. It's going to be like this forever. I'm stuck. I hate that word, stuck. I hate that word, stuck. The definition of the word stuck is doing the same thing over and over. Stuck is a state of existence that results from consistent action or inaction. That's all stuck is. You tell yourself, I know some people that have found a way to leave their 9 to 5s and make a living doing work that they love. I've heard of people like that, but they're not like me. They're different. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to self-reject. I think you get the idea. Listen, real talk, I can relate to the feeling of unworthiness or shame. I feel that sensation from time to time. But guess what? It's only a feeling. I once read a report that amputees often feel a tingling or painful sensation where their limb once was. So if I no longer have my arm, I somehow feel the sensation of pain or something in my arm, even though it's not there. And researchers have done brain scans of people reporting this phenomenon, and the brain actually does show activity where it would if the person's arm or leg was there and in distress. So as far as your brain is concerned, the signal really is being sent. So these people are not imagining this. How does that relate to us? It's because we do feel the pain. We do feel shame. It's a real feeling. It's because of the real feeling and the real weight of pain and shame that we self-reject, right? That we develop that habit. But here's what I've known. Here is what I know better than anything else. Here's what I've known since at least February of 2013. The shame and pain is caused by something that for me is no longer actually there. It's a phantom pain. My existence, my worthiness has been completely legitimized by Jesus Christ. And when I was born again, this time in a contract with God under which I was justified and clean in His sight, the feeling of shame for me, the feeling of unworthiness for me became a phantom pain, right? Sin and evil committed by us and enacted upon us contribute to the feeling of shame that causes us to self-reject. That shame causes us to do everything but live the lives God intended for us. Shame will drive you to do everything except live the life that you were born to. But here it is. The power to say yes to the good desires that God gives you, even when you feel that very real phantom pain and pressure to self-reject. The power to say yes in spite of that is to believe and act like you're worthy of your God-given dreams. It's knowing that shame is a phantom pain because your sins are forgiven and God has overcome the strength of every sin committed against you. That is promised to everyone who believes. I don't just bet my livelihood on this, I bet my eternal life on this being true. So when I feel shame, I know it's misplaced. It's like mail for someone else delivered to your house. This can't possibly, if you get a magazine that you're not subscribed to, this must be for one of my neighbors. I'm not subscribed to this magazine. This isn't for me. You've got to be that confident. When I feel shame, I know it's misplaced. I will not reject my dreams when I believe that they're given to me by God. I will begin. I will try. I will start. I will not self-reject. This is the No Job Podcast. All right, guys. So as we bring the final episode of season 1 to a close, I want to thank you again for being a part of this ride. We're not even close to done. We are just getting started on this journey, and I can only imagine where we're going to be this time next year. I want to take a minute to dedicate this season of the podcast to my wife, Jen, who's sacrificed so much of her time and so much of her bandwidth for me to be able to do this. Please note that if you're enjoying this and you're getting something out of it, you truly have her to thank. Hun, you believe in the vision, and I can't tell you in words how much that means to me. I love you. I also want to dedicate season 1 to my daughter, my love, Ember. When I look at you, I just know I can't give up on this dream of living out God's desires for me and making money doing it. I can't quit because I would never want you to quit. I want you to grow up knowing and seeing and feeling that the only reason to have a job is that if it pays you to do something you'd be happy to do for free in the way that you want to do it. If you can't find that opportunity anywhere, then you go and create it. And last but not least, of course, I want to dedicate this episode to the No Job community. Thank you for supporting this program. It exists to support you, and I hope you can feel that whenever you comment on social media, whenever I see you in person and you say something kind about what we're doing here. It means a lot to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Keep on believing. Keep on believing. We know that everybody has to earn a living, but nobody has to have a job. So keep at it. Keep pushing, keep praying, keep asking questions, and don't give up. There is a way for you to spend your precious time and energy in alignment with your passion, contributing to or building something that you think is important and making money doing it. Until next time, I'm Najee Simmons, and this is the No Job Podcast.